Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very special video for you guys. I'm going to be talking about my 8 top favorite self-help books. This video is very close to my heart because whenever I've gone through low, tough, difficult phases in my life, the single most important thing that has helped me pull through has been reading self-help books. Now I know that a lot of people have varying opinions about this genre. Some people think that these books promote an image of toxic positivity or overdo hustling. But I feel that if used in the right way, a self-help book can be your best friend, and they have truly been mine. In today's day and age of intense competition, constant hustling, and especially in the post-pandemic world, all of us go through some amounts of anxiety, depression, or at least low phases. And when you're going through a low spell, there's nothing that can help you out but you yourself. And that is where the entire genre of self-help comes into play. So let's take a look at my favorites out of this genre. Let's dive right in. First up is Ikigai, the Japanese secret to a long and happy life. This book is appearing in the first place on my list because I absolutely adore it. Why? Because it's unlike any other self-help book that I've read. So what is it about? The book talks about people living in the city of Okinawa in Japan. Now these people are known to be the longest living people on the planet. This book goes into the lifestyle, the kind of food that they eat, how much do they sleep, what kind of exercise do they do, basically everything that these people do in their lives, so that you get an insight into what makes these people the longest lived on the planet. The book also puts forth the concept of Ikigai. What is Ikigai? The people of Japan believe that everyone has an Ikigai, that is a reason to jump out of bed each morning. Having a purpose and constantly keeping yourself busy or working towards that purpose in any small little manner possible can actually lead to a very happy and fulfilled life. Doesn't matter how small or big the purpose is. That is what this book tries to tell you in its essence, and I definitely recommend this book for each and every one of you. Next up is The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. Now, if you're already a Rhonda Byrne fan, I'm sure you know about The Secret, The Magic, The Power, The Hero, and you know many of her works. My personal favorite out of the lot is The Magic. Why? Because even though The Secret is the more popular one, The Magic gives you a step-by-step guide to actually follow the gratitude writing practices that she tells you about. This book has different chapters that give you very practical practices for counting your blessings, or pulling yourself out of negativity, or attracting money and abundance. So I just feel like they're really easy to follow because she tells you how to do a practice daily and you exactly have to follow that. I also feel that even if you, let's say, don't read the book completely, and you're just feeling low on a certain day, you just pick up the book, open any practice and just do it. It will definitely put a smile on your face. Next up is The 5 AM Club by Robin Sharma. As the title reads, own your morning, elevate your life. This book talks about the power, the importance of a productive morning routine and how it can help to maximize your productivity and have a successful life. This book is a must-read for all of you who are hustlers, who love to hustle and maximize productivity in each and every second of their day. If that's what you love, this book is definitely for you. In this book, he tells a story of two strangers who are going through really low phases in their life. They meet this eccentric business tycoon who they call the businessman, and he takes them along with him to an isolated island and he becomes their mentor. He teaches them, yes, of course, he makes them wake up at 5 AM every day. He teaches them a 5 AM morning routine, which helps them maximize productivity, get the most out of every moment, and live their life to its fullest potential. In this book, he also gives a lot of these small little practices that I think even if you don't, let's say, get up at 5 AM every day, you can still incorporate into your daily lives. Doesn't matter what hour you get up at, and still, use them to maximize your productivity. Next up is the Book of Woman by Osho. Now, I don't know how many of you are aware of who Osho was. Osho, or Acharya Rajneesh, was a spiritual leader and Indian guru who was an extremely controversial personality. He had some really strong opinions about religion, sexuality, and just a lot of other intense topics. You can also check out a documentary called Wild Wild Country that is based on Osho's life and his journey in general. It's available on Netflix, I think. So I think this was one of the first of his books that I actually bought. A lot of his talks and discourses have been now converted into books, and because I live in Pune, I had easy access to his literature. So I picked this up and a lot of other books, but this one remains my favorite out of the lot. The Book of Woman talks about everything about a woman. It talks about marriage, sexuality, creativity, love, meditation, mindfulness. It basically talks about every aspect of being a woman and goes to a deeper, more philosophical, more spiritual level of how you survive in this world as a woman. So I recommend every girl who's watching this video right now, you should definitely give this a read. Next up is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. This book really is what it claims to be, a counterintuitive approach to living a good life. Now, when I first started reading this book, in the first chapter itself, there's like a lot of crass words, a lot of abusive language that has been used, and I was just like, wait, why am I reading this again? But then, in spite of all of that, it just, pulls you in, and it really hits you hard. I mean, he puts forth a lot of concepts about how you need to find the distinction between what to give a fuck about and what to not give a fuck about. So Mark Manson says in this book that in life we have a limited amount of fucks to give. So you must choose your fucks wisely. Does that ring true? It surely does for me. So also, like, another thing that he says in this book which really hit me hard was that when you're reading most other self-help books, okay, so they'll tell you, especially the ones which teach you positive thinking, gratitude and all of that. In these practices you're saying that you're visualizing that, okay, I will have a lot of money, or I will be a successful professional, or just visualizing yourself in all of these scenarios which are currently not true. So when you're doing that, you're just reinforcing the fact that you don't have it right now. If I say that I will have a lot of money by the next month, that's just reinforcing the fact that I don't have a lot of money right now. And he kind of gives you a way around how to not do this and how to take your positive thinking approach in the right way. He also goes on to say that not everybody is extraordinary, right? There's going to be winners and losers. You just have to accept that, and that acceptance is the real source of empowerment. Next is The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Now, this is a book that has been highly recommended to me by a lot of people. I've had at least 5 of my closest friends tell me that, read this book, it will be a life changer for you. And I finally gave in and I picked this book up. Let me start off by saying that this book is a heavy read. Like, the language doesn't really flow and you kind of have to take an effort to read it. But I think in spite of that, it's worth reading because the point that it tries to convey is something that all of us need to learn. The book explains to you the importance of living in the moment, the power of now. Basically, your past and your future are both illusions. They're not the existential reality. So what you really need to focus on at any moment in your life is that very moment, right? I mean, it makes so much sense when you say it, but do you really do it? I mean, how often do you do it? I don't. Most of the times I don't. So this book talks about that. Apart from that, he talks about, the concept of your ego, or the created fake self, and how if you can just leave your ego behind, a lot of things in your life will just become simpler and easier. The book also has dedicated chapters on mind strategies for avoiding the now. Yes, we all know we have those, and also a different chapter on moving deeply into the now. So it also tells you what goes wrong, but it also tells you how to fix it. Next up is The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. In this book, he talks about the subconscious barriers that unknowingly stand between you achieving the life of your dreams. We all have mental blocks, certain subconscious triggers that even we don't realize we have. And they, on some level, stop us from actually achieving what we want to achieve in life. In this book, he tells you how certain visualization practices, certain thinking patterns will help you overcome these subconscious mental blocks and help you achieve the life of your dreams. And last but definitely not the least is The Miracle of Mindfulness by Thich Nhat Hanh. Now, Thich Nhat Hanh is a Nobel Peace Prize nominee and Zen master. In this book, he talks only and only about the importance of practicing mindfulness. Now, what exactly is mindfulness? Mindfulness is being aware, being completely aware of what is happening to you, around you, in this very moment, in the now. I think throughout our lives, we miss out on so many precious moments because our mind is somewhere else. We are either thinking about what happened to us in the past, or we are daydreaming about the future, or we are distracted by something or the other. How many moments can you actually count where you've been completely, truly present in the moment? And what he says is the true path towards happiness is being present in this very moment right now. If you're washing the dishes, just be doing that. Just wash the dishes. If you're mopping the floor, if you're cooking food, if you're drinking tea, just savor that very moment. For example, when you're washing the dishes, don't have a song playing around in your head or don't be watching a television show in the background. Instead, feel the warm water on your hand. Feel the smell of the dish soap. Feel how a clean vessel looks when you keep it on the sink. Just take pleasure in the tiny little things that happen in every moment. And I think if all of us manage to reach even close to that stage where we are able to live, I won't say all, but most of our lives with mindfulness, we would all be winners. Apart from introducing you to the concept of mindfulness, he also gives you a few techniques on how to meditate and be mindful. These include half smiling, deep breathing, letting go, measuring your breath by your footsteps, counting your breath, following your breath, washing the dishes, mindfulness of the positions of your body, mindfulness while making tea or cleaning the house or having a slow motion bath. He really tells you techniques which you can easily apply in your daily life to make the most of it and to live it to the fullest. So these were my top 8 absolute favorite self-help books. I really hope you guys give them a read, and if they help you even a little bit, I'll be so happy. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, happy reading!